What's up, everyone? This is Pavlok, and before I actually get ready to start, I actually want to say that I actually kind of got I actually didn't really actually thought about actually doing this before actually doing like game reviews and everything. But what I actually did was I actually just kind of just usually I just play through the games on my channel and just kind of do like gameplay videos and everything like that. And I didn't really expect to actually do like a game review, but I thought about actually doing one, and I thought it'd be pretty cool to actually try doing just like a first game review of one of my games that I actually played. But I didn't actually just put like actual videos of it, but I actually put like a couple gameplay videos back when I just kind of just started first recording videos for YouTube and everything on my camera. And believe it or not, it was like one of my older videos when I was first getting started and everything on my camera. And before I actually get started and actually start jump right into my little very first game review, I actually want to say that if you guys like this video and like my little game reviews and like this one, because this is actually my very first game review that I'm actually going to do today, and if you guys would like to see me do this more often, feel free to let me know. Feel free to message me or comment on this video and let me know what you think about this video, and if you guys would like me to actually continue actually reviewing video games that I actually play and stuff. But depending on how you guys actually feel, if you guys would like to see me do this more often, then feel free to just let me know again. And this is pretty much going to be my first game review, so this is pretty much episode 1 of my game reviews. And today I'm actually going to talk about that I actually kind of selected by my personal choice, my personal favorite Nintendo Wii game, Super Smash Bros Brawl for the Nintendo Wii. So what I'm actually going to talk about is like pretty much what the game is pretty much about, what you can pretty much do in the game, what's actually in the game, like what kind of stuff the different type of things that you can actually do in the game, and how I feel about the game. And then at the very end, I'll just kind of give it like a score on how I feel of the game, a score of the game, and how I think the score I think the game really actually deserves, in my opinion, regardless of what the reviews say on like IGN or whatever game site that you actually visit. And I'm just gonna give it a score that I think it actually deserves, in my personal opinion. So first thing I would like to talk about this game is that I'm going to talk about pretty much the campaign of the story. So pretty much the campaign of the story is pretty much like Subspace of Mystery. It's something called the Subspace of Mystery, and pretty much you go through like it's pretty much a series of worlds that you can pretty much go through and kind of travel with, and just kind of as you go through the game, I would like to just kind of, just for example, like the very first stage is like you fight off against like a piranha plant boss, and it actually has 2 cages with like 2 separate characters. One cage has like on the left cage it was like 2 separate cages with 2 trapped characters. I think the 2 characters, if I was to actually remember at the top of my head, one cage had Zelda trapped in one cage, and then the other cage was like Peach trapped in the other. And pretty much you just kind of go through stages through like you fight through a series of bosses and everything like that. So the piranha plant was just like the very first boss that you actually face off against, and I think you had to choose between like Mario and Pikachu to actually choose like different from each characters that you get to choose like what characters that you would like to play with and everything like that. And it's pretty cool like what the several different bosses that you actually have in like the game that you can face off against. Like for example, the piranha plant boss I just mentioned with the 2 cages that you have to fight him against, as he gets kind of attacks you with he swings the cages at you and stuff like that, and you just gotta dodge and just be careful not to get hit, because they can actually launch you pretty far, and I think like a good 3 times can pretty much kill you. But other than the piranha plant, there was like different bosses such as like the legendary Pokemon Rayquaza, some other Earthbound related kind of boss with it was like a spider looking boss or anything like that. But it was several different like bosses that you could actually face off against, but those are just like 2 separate examples. I'm actually just kind of named like the Rayquaza that you actually face off against, and a piranha plant, which is one of the first bosses that you also face off against. And there's several others in the game as well as you like travel through the Subspace of Misery. And pretty much during the Subspace of Misery campaign, which is pretty much the story mode for the game, you can pretty much go through like different stages with different characters. And pretty much the unique thing about it is that you don't actually have to play like through the story mode by yourself. You can actually play it like with a friend and actually with co-op, and that's pretty unique. And I thought that was pretty fun to actually do it, because what I actually did, when I first actually bought this game, I actually wanted up playing through this game like for I played like for just some of the parts with like one of my friends I actually teamed up with and played through just like the first part, the beginning, a couple stages with like co-op mode, and then I wound up actually finishing the game and finishing the rest of it, like the whole entire Subspace of Mystery by myself solo. So you could pretty much choose like whether you want to just kind of go through like the Subspace of Misery, which is the campaign of the game, by yourself, or maybe you want to play with a friend or something like that. And the pretty cool thing is that as you kind of go through like the stages, you could actually pick which character that you want to play with. Like for like say like for example like for some of the characters that's in the game, Mario, Pikachu, Link, Samus, or Captain Falcon, you can actually choose and actually select like what your controller, whether you play on whether you use your Wii controller to actually play with, or your GameCube controller, maybe the the Wii Classic controller or something, whatever you choose to play with, pretty much your Wii game, pretty much the Super Smash Bros game. I want to say you could actually choose like which characters you want to actually play with, and it's pretty cool. Like you don't actually have to pretty much automatically just be forced to pick the character that the game actually chooses for you. You can actually choose for yourself, and that's pretty unique as well. So that's pretty awesome. And you can also you can actually pick your favorite characters out of all those different selections of characters that actually let you choose from. Like whether it's 2 or 3 characters, or maybe 4 or 5 characters, you can actually choose from as you want to play through like the next stage that's actually coming up for that you actually have to make your way through and stuff. And it's also like different enemies that you can actually during the stages as well. Like, and it's also items in the game that you can actually use like during the Subspace Misery stages and everything. Like you go through like the forest, the woods. You're even in like Pit Sky World, like way up in the sky, like pits of Sky World and everything like that. In the clouds, you go through just even like the ice stages and everything like that. And even some water levels as well. And it's several different type of stages. And also I'd like to mention that Metal Knight's ship is also like a stage as well. The Halberd, I think it was called. That you actually go through his little ship. You can actually go through his stage as well. And Samus Aran's like, I wouldn't say like her ship, but just like it actually has like the theme in the background is like a laboratory kind of stage or factory or something like that. And it's pretty unique with the different music and everything that you can actually listen to as you kind of make your way through like the stages. There's several different stages of the worlds and everything like that. And as you kind of travel along like through the stages of the Subspace of Misery, you tend to run into like several Nintendo characters that you come across during the stage. And as you kind of run into them, you can actually select, like say for example you run into like Nez or maybe Lucas as well, which is the newest Earthbound character that was actually put in the game. You can say if you run into like Nez and Lucas along the way, and then alongside them Kirby is alongside with them as well. You can actually choose from those characters or who you want to play with, whether you want to play with Nez or Lucas or Pikachu or something like that, or maybe even Kirby or whoever you would like to choose as your favorite character and stuff. So as you kind of make your way through, it's pretty much you'll tend to kind of run into more Nintendo characters along the way, and more characters that they actually put in the game, like Wario and the Pokemon trainer as well. Like some of those are like the 2 newest characters that they actually like, more new characters that actually added to like the game. The Pokemon trainer, Lucas. I'm trying to think of some other characters. Wolf from the Star Wolf team, Lucario, which pretty much is like the Mewtwo replacement for Super Smash Bros Brawl in my opinion, and who else? And Ike from Fire Emblem. But those are just kind of some other characters that they kind of added to the game. It's several others as well, like Sonic and Snake from Metal Gear Solid as well, from Metal Gear Solid, which is the 2 newest characters that actually kind of added to the game to make the game a little bit different. So as you kind of make your way through like the subspace and misery and stuff, you can just kind of complete the levels, and then as you run into those Nintendo characters, you actually unlock them along the way. So whether you want to just kind of play like the multiplayer mode, or if you want to just play like the brawl mode, I would like to say, because you can just, it's something on the game that's actually called brawl, where you can just kind of face off against your the computer, the AI, or maybe you want to face off against some of your friends that actually came over to play or something like that, who want to play with you and stuff. And as you actually run into those characters, you actually unlock them officially for like later in the game, whether you want to play with them later during the game for the Subspace and Misery campaign, or during like the brawl mode when you want to play against like the computer, or against your friends and everything like that. But that's pretty much all for the campaign. But the other thing I would like to mention about the campaign is that the final boss and like the final stage is that for the final stage is like you're pretty much in the subspace, pretty much as the title actually says for like the campaign, the Subspace and Mystery. You actually are in the final world. It's pretty much like the subspace, and it's like several different worlds. And it kind of took me a long time to actually kind of find my way around, because it was like different teleporters. You can go in those little different those teleport portals that just kind of teleport you in different places of the subspace, and you can kind of find yourself just kind of going back to the same spots over and over. And it kind of got annoying a little bit, because I kind of got lost, and I wound up spending like over an hour just trying to go for like going to the same places over and over, and just kind of getting lost in the subspace. Like I wasn't really sure where to go. But as I kind of played through it like the second time, because once you actually beat the Subspace and Mystery campaign, you can actually play it, and you can actually choose from like all the stages, and you can actually change from like the difficulty of the stages. Like the highest difficulty is like intense mode, pretty much, or very intense, I would like to say, because it's the two highest difficulties is intense mode, and then the other one is like very intense. So that's pretty much the my only major gripe for the last stage. I kind of found myself like kind of going everywhere and everything like that. But I eventually found my way around, and actually made my way to the final boss, which is Taboo. Taboo is the name of the actual final boss of the game of Super Smash Bros Brawl for the Subspace Misery. And once you actually defeat Taboo, he actually has, well, before I get to that, Taboo actually has like a cheat move where it's like a cheat move. It just blows you away instantly. And I actually kind of got killed by him a couple times, and I actually wound up having to fight him over and over, because I didn't really know what his moves was at first, and it kind of took a couple tries to actually beat Taboo, because Taboo has like a pretty cheap move that can pretty much blow you away off the stage, almost like, if not almost instantly, because it's like a big wave gauge or some kind of little wave move that actually kind of comes out of Taboo. And it's like a force field, and it covers the whole stage pretty much, and you can't really dodge it. Like even if you try to air dodge, I don't know if you can actually air dodge against it. I tried doing it, but it still managed to blow me away somehow. You can't even block it or anything like that, and as well. So it was kind of pretty cheap, and that's pretty much the only major gripe I actually had for like facing off against the final boss Taboo. But it was kind of pretty cheap, just having just constantly keep doing that move, and it can kind of just knock your characters off. But the good thing is that once your characters just get knocked off, those other characters that you selected from, because you actually could select from several different characters, if I'm not mistaken, to face Taboo, like up to 4 characters. I think is like the maximum cap number to actually select your characters from. So once you lose like a character, the other character that you selected, like, okay, select, for example, if I selected Mario first, and then second I selected like Fox, pretty much. So if Taboo did the little cheat move, and it just blows you immediately off the stage, and Mario's pretty much out of the game pretty much for the whole entire match off against the whole boss fight, the entire boss fight against Taboo, then Fox will be, since I chose Fox second as my second character to face him, Fox will be up next, and then whoever you chose third and fourth to actually during your character selection to face Taboo, those characters will come up in order, in the order that you selected them, I pretty much want to say. So once you actually defeat Taboo, you unlock Sonic the Hedgehog pretty much, because that's the only way that you can actually unlock Sonic the Hedgehog, which is like the newest character in the game as well. Like as you guys can probably actually see that Sonic is actually a playable character alongside with Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid that they actually added as well in the game. So you can you'll actually unlock Sonic the Hedgehog once you beat Taboo and pretty much complete the Subspace of Mystery. So once you actually beat the Subspace campaign, you unlock Sonic the Hedgehog officially, and you pretty much beat the campaign pretty much. And you can kind of go back and just kind of get other stuff like his trophies, other items, hitting trophies around the stages and everything. And you can actually kind of up the difficulty if you want just to challenge yourself, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty much it for like the campaign. And the other game modes that they actually have, you got your brawl mode to take on the AI, the computer AI, or just to play with friends. They got the event mode with your event battles, with your event stages and stuff, where you just kind of go through like several different events with several different characters they actually have you select from to actually complete each mission or event, I would like to say. And they also have the stadium mode, the tournament mode, where you can just kind of compete in the tournament with your friends and everything like that. You can't do it solo, but you only can compete with like against like multiplayer of up to 4 people that can actually enter the tournament, where when you got like whether you have friends over or something like that that want to play. Let's see, they have I think they have like the different modes. They have some kind of game mode. It's like an arcade mode where you're just actually in like a ship and you're actually shooting like I wanted to say like you're shooting different like objects to get like coins to actually and just like extra additional trophies and everything like that. So that's a pretty cool. I actually found myself actually playing that game mode for a little while, where you actually shoot with the little ship with the lasers and stuff, and you just kind of unlock like more trophies and other stuff as well. And I think you get like coins too. But those are the other game modes that's also in the game, pretty much from the recent actual Super Smash Bros games, like Melee and Nintendo 64, the original version as well. And the multiplayer, I will actually before I actually get to the multiplayer, the only like difference I would also like to mention before I get to the multiplayer and start talking about it, the difference in this game, Super Smash Bros Brawl, you can actually get like something called the Smash Ball, where you actually just kind of, for example, if you destroy like with Pikachu, you would actually be able to use his super move by pressing the B button or whatever you press on your controller that you're actually using to play the game. You actually get like a super move that's pretty unique, and it actually is pretty brutal to all your opponents that's in the stage. Like whether you're playing online or whether you're playing against your friends, it can pretty get you a lot of points pretty much. But once you actually use like the super move with whatever character that you're using, it only lasts for like a limited amount of time. And they also added like something called the assist trophies, which is you get like assists from different, like for example Pokemon and other characters, other Nintendo characters. Like for the assist trophy that I didn't really like, I just want to also mention like the assist trophy Groudon. Groudon just pretty much just sits there and just kind of roars, and he doesn't really do much. If you don't touch him and you just keep away from him, is the Groudon legendary Pokemon assist trophy can actually be like assist. It can actually be useless if you just don't touch him. Like as long as you don't go near him, it's pretty much a useless assist trophy. Like I'm not kidding you. Like if you actually get like Groudon from the assist trophy, he's pretty useless. And one of the best actual assists that you could actually probably get is like Kyogre, because Kyogre is also the legendary Pokemon from Pokemon Sapphire, and he actually spits water and it pushes you off the stage, and he actually follows you. He tracks you around. He goes from like left to right from the stage and everything like that. It's like, for example, a perfect stage for Kyogre would be like Battlefield, pretty much the Battlefield stage pretty much, and he pushes everybody off the stage by spitting using Hydro Pump, I would like to say. He probably uses Hydro Pump, and it pushes everybody off the stage and it tracks you, and he actually keeps spitting he keeps using Hydro Pump until you pretty much you get knocked out or you're pretty much off the stage. And he pretty much changes direction and goes for the other characters too, which is pretty cool too also. But those are like the two newest things that they actually added, and a couple other items as well. I don't really kind of remember the other items as well, but I think those are like the two main actual difference makers in this game that actually just make it different from Super Smash Bros. Melee and Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64, the assist trophies and the Smash Ball, which is pretty much the special move that you can actually use for your characters, or whatever character that you're actually playing with. You can actually use their special move to gain you additional kills and additional points to score, and increase your chances of actually winning. And if you're actually in a tough spot, and if you manage to get the Smash Ball, it can kind of help you come back in the matches, like whether you're playing against your friends or against the computer, or maybe you're playing online. But speaking of online, the online is not really as good in my opinion, because I actually tried to play it, and when I actually first bought this game, I was actually looking forward to actually playing the online, and just I was hoping that the multiplayer would actually, the online multiplayer matches would at least be decent enough to actually play, and just to kind of continue playing. Because once I actually beat the campaign of the game, I just jumped on the multiplayer because I was so eager to actually try to start and just kind of experience the multiplayer as what is to see what it was like and experience it for myself. But the matches are so laggy, like they're terrible. The matches are terribly laggy. You can't really do much of your moves. Some of them, the actions and the inputs are pretty much delayed, massively delayed. Sometimes your screen freezes. Like in my personal experience, I was actually playing like an online match, and I was playing with like Yoshi, which is one of my favorite characters to actually use in the game. I was using Yoshi, and I tried to actually jump back in the stage because I was actually knocked off the stage. My screen actually froze, and I was kind of sitting there for like 10 seconds, just sitting there and just kind of mashing the buttons, just hoping that the screen would actually unfreeze itself, because I thought my system actually locked up at first, but it actually crashed the match, and the match was pretty much canceled. So Yoshi was kind of like flying back. He was flying back, and he was pretty much frozen. Everything was like completely frozen, but the music was still kind of playing in the background, which was the funny thing. So, and it just pretty much just kind of stopped the match. The whole match was pretty much canceled, and it was just it was so laggy. Some of the inputs were so delayed. I couldn't even really like attack some of my opponents. It's like during the online matches, like some of the matches were either too super laggy, or some of the matches would like crash, and some of the matches would either like freeze and just kind of the connections would drop, and maybe the host would just leave or drop from the match and stuff like that. And sometimes the match will still kind of continue. I found myself actually having the matches still continue, but some people that actually were actually scheduled to actually connect, like during the loading screen, like on the multiplayer, you actually sit there, and against like the punching bag, pretty much the sandbag, I would like to say it's called. You can actually attack the sandbag during the loading screen while you wait for other players to actually connect to the game. And sometimes you actually find yourself just sitting there, just actually attacking the sandbag, just waiting for people to actually show up in the lobbies. But some of them actually are just say, like for example, they'll say like four players are actually now scheduled to actually, 4 players are now connected in the lobby and ready to start the match. So it will just sit there and load for a while, and then once it says that it's like 4 players actually connected in the lobby, once you go in the game, sometimes it'll just be like 2 players. Sometimes you'll find yourself just facing one person that actually connected, and the other 2 other players